Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shri Vyasadeva Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Satasri Srimad, this divine grace, Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Hare Krishna. So welcome you all to today's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. So we are reading from second canto, 6th chapter, Purusha Shukta Confirm. And we are reading from 17th verse. Sva Dishnyam Pratapan prano bahishcha pratapati asau evam virajam pratapams tapati antar bahi kuman swadishnyam pratapan prano bahishcha pratapati asau evam virajam pratapams tapati antar bahi puman swadishnyam pratapan prano bahishcha pratapati asau evam virajam pratapams tapati antar bahi puman swadishnyam pratapan prano bahishcha pratapati asau evam virajam pratapams tapati antar bahi puman. Please recite. Antar bahi puman Vishyan pratapan prano bahishcha pratapatyaso tapatyantar bahi puman Sadishnam pratapan prano evam virajam pratapam tapatyantar bahi puman Swadishnyam pratapan prano bahishcha pratapatyaso evam virajam pratapams tapatyantar bahi. Matajis. Swadishnam, radiation. Pratapan, by expansion. Prana, living energy. Bahi, external. Cha, also. Pratapati, illuminated. Asau, the sun. Evam, in the same way. Virajam, the universal form. Pratapan, by expansion of. Tapati, enlivens. Antaha, internally. Bahi, externally. Puman, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The sun illuminates both internally and externally by expanding its radiation. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by expanding His universal form, maintains everything in the creation both internally and externally. Purport. The universal form of the Lord, or the impersonal future of the Lord, known as Brahma Jyoti, is clearly explained here and compared to the radiation of the sun. The sunshine may expand all over the universe, but the source of the sunshine, namely the sun planet or the deity known as Surya Narayana, is the basis of such radiation. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is the basis of the impersonal Brahma Jyoti radiation or the impersonal future of the Lord. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 14.27. Brahmano hi pratishtha. So the universal form of the Lord is a secondary imagination of the impersonal form of the Lord, but the primary form of the Lord is Shama Sundara, with two hands playing on his eternal flute. 75% of the expansive radiation of the Lord is manifested in the spiritual sky, Tripada Vibhuti, and 25% of his personal radiation comprehends the entire expansion of the material universes. This is also explained and stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.40. Ekam sena sthito jagat. Thus, the 75% expansion of his radiation is called his internal energy, whereas the 25% expansion is called the external energy of the Lord. The living entities who are residents of the spiritual sky as well as the material expansions are his marginal energy, Tatastha Shakti, and they are at liberty to live in either of the energies, external or internal. Those who live within the spiritual expansion of the Lord are called liberated souls, whereas the residents of external expansion are called conditioned souls. We can just make an estimation of the number of residents of internal expansions in comparison with the number of residents in the external energy and may easily conclude that the liberated souls are far more numerous than the conditioned souls. Om Agnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Shah Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Vatsabhanavi Devi Dayataya Kripadyaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namah Madhuryojvala Premadaya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaya Deenatharine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambude Padambujayate Namah Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virva Bhumestvam Nirdeshna Sajjana Priya Vaishnavam Sarva Bhumo Shri Jagannadayate Namah Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namah Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Surato Pangur Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvassa Padambujo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Drandaranya Kalpadhrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastav Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Deva Preshtalibi Sevyamanas Marami Srimad Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vada Tadastita Karshan Venu Swiner Gopi Gopinada Sriyestuna Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Ananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Before beginning, I would like to take blessings from all the Vaishnavas assembled here, especially senior devotees. Please bless me so that I can discuss upon this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam topic. Swadishnyam pratapan prano bahisya pratapati asho evam virajam pratapam tapati antar bahi puman. So here the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord, it is compared with the sun radiation. It is compared like that. So these are the Purusha Shukta prayers. I was hearing a class and Prabhu was telling that if you hear daily, if you recite daily Purusha Shukta prayers, then it is so powerful, so pure that if you are having any kind of like diabetes, it will go away. If you are having a roga of like diabetes, it will go away. But you have to chant with proper meter. That Sahasra Shircha Purusha Sahasra Akshara Sahasra Pani, like that. The proper meter is there. If we can chant with that proper meter every day, then lot of diseases will go away. And and these prayers, when demigods, when they go to this ocean of milk, they are also demigods. To please the Lord, they offer these prayers, all the demigods. And it is said that when we are in the temple, when they are installing deity prana pratishtha, so at that time also we can recite this Purusha Shukta prayer while deity is being installed in the temple, and while Abhishekam is going on to the Utsav Vigraha, while Abhishekam, Mahabhishekam, at that time also we can chant this Purusha Shukta prayers. They are very, very much pleasing to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. We can chant them. So here, and even Vishnu Sahasranama is also as powerful as this Purusha Shukta prayer. So here we can see that universal form of the Lord, or the impersonal feature of the Lord, known as Brahma Jyoti, is clearly explained here and compared to the radiation of the sun. So, so this Brahma Jyoti, this impersonal feature of the Lord, is actually the Brahman effulgence coming from the Lord. So this is the first step or the first stage in transcendental realization. There are different steps in transcendental realization. This is the first step or the first stage in transcendental realization. Means if a person comes into spirituality, or generally from Vedic scriptures, they come to know first about this Brahman, then Paramatma, and then the Supreme Lord. But in Krishna consciousness, we come to know about Lord Krishna only. That also Shyam Sundar form of Krishna, who is the origin of all incarnations. This Vrindavan Krishna. Mentioned here, mentioned. So the universal form of the Lord is a secondary imagination of the impersonal form of the Lord, but the primary form of the Lord is the Shyam Sundara with two hands playing on his eternal flute. So the primary form of the Lord, the original form of the Lord, is the Shyam Sundar form of Krishna playing flute. That also in Vrindavan. That's why it is said that when devotees, when they are in very advanced stage, when they reach advanced stage, so they don't focus upon other deities. They only focus upon Lord Krishna. They forget about all incarnations of Krishna and they completely focus on Lord Krishna. That also Krishna in Vrindavan, Shyam Sundar form. They completely forget about other incarnations. Completely focus upon Lord Krishna. There was one story of this Sukadeva Goswami Maharaj. He was always used to meditate upon Radha Madhav pastimes. He used to meditate, he was always in his mind, heart, he used to think about Radha Madhav pastimes. But once some devotees came and told that, come, we'll go to Dwaraka, like that they said. And then he said, okay, it is Krishna's place, let's go. So he goes with them to Dwaraka, and then they heard a lot of pastimes of Krishna in Dwaraka, and when then again he came back to his place. So at that time, after coming back, then he tried again to think about Radha Madhav pastimes, that pastimes of Radha Madhav. But when he tried, even after trying for so much, he was not able to concentrate, was not able to remember or concentrate or focus on the pastimes of Radha Madhav. Then he was praying to Radharani, why it is happening to me, why? Said that because you went to Dwaraka Dham, and you heard about Krishna's Aishwarya Leela, so that's why even after knowing about the Vrindavan Leela's Madhurya, so that's why for you this lifetime you be satisfied with this Dwaraka Leela only. Okay, for you Vrindavan Leela is not possible this lifetime, like that Radharani says. And then he felt so much of separation, so much of intense. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki, Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramaya Sudarshan ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Jai. So he felt so much of intense separation from Radha Madhav, and then he generated fire and he burned himself in that fire. It is said like that. Like that happened. So generally, devotees, like very senior, like few devotees, after practicing Krishna consciousness for so many years, so their focus generally it will be focused on Shyam Sundar. Here one more thing it is mentioned about Surya Narayana. So in scriptures it is said that this Surya Narayana is non-different than Aniruddha. Aniruddha is the Surya Narayana. So there is a verse in Rudra Gita. I think Rudra Gita is from which canto? Rudra Gita is from which canto? Okay, whatever. So it is said that in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, prayers of Lord Shiva and prayers of Lord Brahma is very, very important. It said that either we have to memorize the slokas or at least we have to memorize the translation and we have to remember them. Very important. So here Rudra, so in Rudra Gita it is mentioned about, there is a verse, it's mentioned that Namo Namo Aniruddhaya Rishikeshaya Indriyatmane Namo Paramahamsaya Purnaya Nivritatmane. So they are presiding deity. So this Vyasadeva, Shankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So they are presiding deities of different things. So Vyasadeva is a presiding deity of consciousness, and the Sankarshana is a presiding deity of ego, and Pradyumna is for the intelligence, and Aniruddha is for the mind. Suppose if you are supposed to control mind, then it is said that we are supposed to worship Aniruddha. Worship Aniruddha is also Krishna's expansion only. One can control mind. So this Aniruddha is himself that Surya Narayana. And this it's mentioned that this Surya Dev is very, very important for this sustenance of this material world. Surya Dev is very important because of his radiation, sun radiation, sunlight only. This world is existing. The universe is existing because of the sun radiation. Otherwise, it is completely dark. Without Surya Dev, it is completely dark. And because of his help only, we get lot of rains, showering rains because of the Surya Dev only. And by pleasing Surya Dev, we can actually get rains. And it is said once what happened is some of the devotees, they were doing Western devotees, they were doing Griha Pravesha in a home. And what happens is that for Griha Pravesha, he was doing that yagna for pleasing. So when he was doing yagna, so in that Western countries, what happens is if the temperature increases a lot in the room, automatically they have some shower system. From there the water droplets comes and automatically it cools the whole room. So they have such type of automatic system inbuilt inside their home. So this devotee, when he was doing this Griha Pravesha Yagna, so the heat increased a lot of heat increased in the home, that the showers were coming, that drops were coming. And some of other devotees, they were commenting that you performed Yagna and rains were showering the rains. So like that, if you perform Yagna, the rains will definitely come. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanya dhanna sambhava yagnat bhavati parjanya yagna karma samudbhavaha. We live on these grains, and the grains come from the earth when there is a rain, and the rains comes from when there is sunlight. That's why. And Prabhupada when he was in London, so there was a conversation between Prabhupada and reporter. So reporter asked Prabhupada, why you came to London? So then Srila Prabhupada says that to save London from hellish planets. Like that Prabhupada says. And then, okay, so you believe in these hellish planets and heaven planets? Prabhupada says, yes. So how does the hell look like? So then Prabhupada says, the hellish planets look exactly like London city. So London city means it is full, there is hardly any sun, and the temperature is always cold and it is gloomy. It's always dark actually. So that's why it is said that where if there is no sunlight proper, if there is no proper sunlight, even the people who are staying there, they'll be more and more mentally disturbed. Even if we stay inside the room and doesn't go outside the house and keep ourselves in the sunlight, even we also become mentally disturbed. Like it is mentioned that that's why we are supposed to do book distribution, all these things in the sunlight. It is good actually, not just be inside the room, inside the home. We do not work from home. People who are doing this work from home, they are more and more mentally disturbed rather than those who are going to office and working there. It's because of the sunlight. We should keep ourselves in the sun. Just like in Andhra Pradesh, if two people come and meet each other, so the first thing they discuss is about films. Like what new film is coming recently, like that they discuss. It is in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, films are very famous. But in London, if two people meet, they discuss about how is weather. So their weather is always like that only, always dark, gloomy, cold, because of absence of sunlight. And when Prabhupada was giving class in this Bhaktivedanta manner, so one Mataji raised her hand and, Prabhupada, I am so much enthusiastic, I want to distribute books in hellish planets, like that she tells. and then Prabhupada said, you are already distributing, but you don't know, like that his Prabhupada said. Then that Mataji did not understand. And then Prabhupada says, actually you are already distributing in hellish planets only, don't worry. And then Rameshwar Prabhu, he says that, so Prabhupada means that you are in London city. So London city is actually, you are distributing books in London city. It is like distributing books in the hellish planets only. So no need to go to hellish planets further. And we heard about this Surya Namaskara, right? Surya Namaskaras, all these things. Why people do this Surya Namaskara is because Surya Devi's Namaskara Priya, means when we want to please Surya Narayana. So if we offer these Namaskaras, different postures, Surya Dev will be pleased. And to please Lord Shiva, it is mentioned that we have to offer Jala. He is Jala Priya. If people offer this bale leaves, bale patta and little bit water, so Shiva will easily pleased. And if you want to please Lakshmi Devi, it is said that we have to offer Deepa Priya. That's why if you see in Lakshmi Devi's temple, that Deepa, they never actually put off that Deepa. It is already there, always there. And if you want to please Lord Vishnu, then it is Alankara Priya. We have to do lot of Shringar for Lord. If you want to please Lord Vishnu, we have to do lot of Shringara. And if you want to please Lord Krishna, it is said that he is Stuti Priya. We have to offer a lot of prayers to Lord Krishna. If you come in front of the Lord and if you can memorize the shlokas glorifying Krishna, which is mentioned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Kunti Maharani prayers, or so Brahmaji, Shiva, there are a lot of prayers. In 10th canto, they are full of prayers only. So if you can remember those prayers and if we offer these prayers in front of the Lord, Krishna is very much pleased, becomes very much pleased, because he's Stuti Priya. So, because it is mentioned about Krishna that he's a primary source of all the incarnations, so we'll discuss about some Krishna's pastimes, okay? And it is mentioned that once Chatur Kumaras, they go to Lord Brahma and they ask few questions. So the first question they ask is that who is the greatest person existing in this cosmic manifestation? Sarvashreshth Vyakti kaun hai? Like that, the first question he asked Chatur Kumaras to Brahma. And the second question is that ऐसा व्यक्ति कौन है जिससे मृत्यु भी डरते हैं? Death, like who is that person who is even death is fearful of him? Who is such a personality, even death personified, or the death is fearful of him? And the third question he asked him is that जिसको जानने से और कुछ जानने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. By knowing whom there is nothing left to be known in this world. So what is such a personality? By knowing about whom there is nothing to be known. So who is such personality? And the fourth question he asks is that how this material world is working, how it is being maintained. इसका कैसे maintain, how this material world is being maintained. These are the four questions asked by Chetuk Kumaras to Brahmaji. What is the first question? Who is the greatest person in this whole cosmic manifestation? And what Brahmaji says, who is the greatest person? Any guess? Is right in front of you only. Krishna. So Brahmaji says that Krishna is the great Sarvashreshth Vyakti hai Shri Krishna. Krishna is the greatest among all the greatest persons in this whole manifestation. And the second question is, किससे even मृत्यु भी डरते हैं, किसको देखने से मृत्यु भी डरते हैं? So it is mentioned that, so Brahmaji says that Govinda. So Govinda is it's mentioned that Govinda, by seeing Govinda, even the mrityu also is fearful. And then the third question is, by knowing whom there is nothing left to be known. So ऐसा कौन सा व्यक्ति है जिसको जानने से और कुछ जानने का है ही नहीं, बचा ही नहीं, मतलब which is there any person by knowing whom there is nothing left to be known? So Brahmaji answers that is Gopi Jana Vallabha. So it's also name of Krishna. Gopi Jana Vallabha means one who plays flute and he pleases all the gopis. So by knowing that Shyam Sundar form of Krishna, who is playing flute and pleasing the gopis, there is nothing to be known, or nothing left to be known. And then it's mentioned that who is how the material world is working. So says that this Maya Devi is the one who is the presiding deity of this whole material world, and she's managing all the material affairs. That's why if you see this, there is one mantra it's mentioned in Klim Krishnaya Govinda. There is a verse. There is a these are called what you call. We chant this Gayatri mantra, right? It's one of the Gayatri mantra. It's mentioned about these names: Krishnaya, Govindaya, Gopijana Vallabhaya, and this Swaha means this Maya Devi. Actually, it represents. So if a person chants these mantras, then he can get Shyam Sundar form of Krishna. It's after Brahman initiation. So here, so because and about Krishna, he is completely different from all the incarnations. It is mentioned that Krishna is very merciful, and he is even merciful to asuras also. Sometimes if you see the other incarnations of Krishna, when they kill the demons, it is mentioned that they enter into Brahmajyoti or something like that. But when Krishna kills them, they get liberation. They can enter into Vaikuntha Loka. That is speciality of Krishna. When Krishna kills asuras, he is so much merciful to even to asuras also, that they can get they can be elevated to Vaikuntha Loka. And it's mentioned that why Prabhuji was telling that why Krishna's hand is always red in color. Anyone knows why Krishna's hand is all reddish in color, right? It's mentioned that Krishna, when he was a small boy, he was crawling so much in that Vrindavan. So that's why while he was crawling, he wanted to actually Mother Yashoda was so much busy in making butter, makhan, and fresh milk, like boiling milk for Krishna. So and Krishna wants to play with Mother Yashoda. So that's why whenever Mother Yashoda used to go, so Krishna used to always follow behind her, and he used to take lot of effort for reaching Mother Yashoda. So because of that, keeping his hand on into the ground lot of times. That's why Krishna's hand, this part becomes reddish. It's mentioned. Ramrup process, and when Krishna was in this Kurukshetra war, when he was when he was in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he keeps a lot of effort for protecting Arjuna. He catches with one of his hand those whips for catching hold of the horses. So for catching those whips continuously, not releasing them for a moment, whole day. So he was catching like that. So that's why his hands became very reddish, very much reddish. And it's mentioned that Krishna's hands are very smooth, very soft like butter. Krishna's hands. So that's why even if he just catches that stick for taking care of the calves, just by catching the stick only, Krishna's hands become reddish. His hands are so soft, like that. So like that, there are so many pastimes of Krishna, and it is mentioned that we are supposed to worship this Sham Sundar form of Krishna. There are so many different incarnations of Krishna, and the primary form of the Lord is Sham Sundara with two hands playing on his eternal flute. So, and we are supposed to worship that eternal form of Krishna. It is mentioned that the 75% of the expansive radiation of the Lord is manifested in the spiritual world, Tribad Vibhuti, and 25% of his personal radiation comprehends the entire expansion of the material universes. So we know that 3/4 of the whole creation, the 3/4 of the whole cosmic manifestation is the spiritual world, and the 1/4 is the material creation. So Ekam Sena Sthito Jagat means that the spiritual world is way bigger. Actually, this is not some some analytical calculation. It is just it's not like exactly like 3/4 and 1/4. We should not count it like that. It is just like some kind of what you say, just some theoretical part. Okay. Actually, spiritual world we cannot count. We cannot. It is unlimited. Actually, the spiritual world and the spiritual planets, Vaikuntha Lokas or Goloka Vrindavan, it is unlimited. It is ever expanding. There is no limit for it. We cannot limit it to 3/4 or 1/4 of the whole cosmic manifestation. It is unlimited. Krishna is unlimited, and Krishna's creation is also unlimited. And for us to understand, even the material creation is also unlimited, and what to speak of the spiritual creation, and and this 1/4 of the creation, this material world, we consider it has a lot of living entities are present. But if you see in the spiritual world, the associates of Krishna are so many in number we cannot even count actually. It's like if you see that we hear that cowherd boys every day come in front of Krishna's home for taking Krishna to forest. But what was the count of cowherd boys? They come to in front of Krishna's home to take Krishna to forest. It's like millions in number, millions and millions. We cannot even count actually, and we cannot even understand how how it is possible that millions and millions of cowherd boys are coming in front of Krishna's home, waiting for Krishna, and they see that Krishna's Mother Yashoda is doing Shringar to Krishna, and cowherd boy. You might have seen that photo, right? That cowherd boys are staring from the window and seeing Krishna's darshan and waiting for Krishna to come with them to the forest. And when Krishna takes the cowherd boys and the cows to the forest, they are like millions in numbers. The cowherd boys are millions in numbers, and the cows are also, it's mentioned now. Only Krishna has 9 lakh cows, and every cowherd boys also have. They doesn't have like 100 like that. They also have so many millions in number only. It's like huge. It's very difficult for our mind to understand these things, for our brain. It said that human being only uses 5% of his brain, and in Kali Yuga they don't use that much also. So That's why it is for us achintya, inconceivable. Krishna is inconceivable, and Krishna's pastimes are also inconceivable. We have to accept it, and we have to relish it. And the gopis are also the number of gopis when Krishna does Raslila with the gopis. The number of gopis is unlimited. It is in the crores in number. Krishna expands with each and every gopi, and he dances in the dead of night. So that's why the number Prabhupada mentions now in the we can just make an estimate of number of residents of internal expansion in comparison with the number of residents in the external energy. So the personal associates of the Lord in the Vaikuntha Loka or in Golok Vrindavan, they are huge in number. They are huge in number when compared to the people of this material world. We are like negligible in front of the residents of Vaikuntha. This universe is just like a small mustard seeds. This universe and this Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's mentioned, right? This a pack of mustard seeds are there. So like that, this material world is just like some pack of mustard seeds. It's kept in some cover, that much only in front of the spiritual world, in the Golok Vrindavan. That's why our goal is to go home back to Godhead and be with Krishna and engage in his eternal pastimes. Okay. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, comments, can. Okay.
You told about like palm white is red actually, but what about navel and ears? Why they are red actually? Why the navel and the ears are red actually? What is the reason? You told me about why it is red actually.
Why
navel
it
and
is
arms?
reddish?
What about navel and
Okay. Why Krishna's novel and why it is reddish? Krishna's appearance is only like that only. But I just heard one Leela from Prabhuji. I just mentioned that why other parts of the body are reddish. That you have to further study. I don't know about that. Prabhuji, would like to answer that? Telling that Krishna's different parts of the body are reddish. It's like hands, this part is reddish in color, and Krishna's toes and some part of the novel and ears, why they are reddish in color, he's asking. Why they are reddish in appearance.
Hare Krishna. Here in the translation, internal and external manifestations are creation of both internally and externally. So, what is the meaning of internal and external creation?
Internal creation and
External creation.
internal creation, external creation of the Lord. So internal means, so there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's abode actually. So that is so these expansions. If you say internal creation or the internal energy of the Lord or personal energy of the Lord is all this Vaikuntha Loka and this Golok Vrindavan. That is an external expansion means it is the energy is separated from the Lord. That is Bahiranga Shakti. That is all these material universes like that. There is no difference between Krishna's abode and Krishna himself. That's why it's internal. It is himself only. The abode is Krishna himself. That's why it is internal energy of the Lord. That's my understanding.
as far as I understand, it's lots different energies are operating in both the aspects, the material world and the spiritual abode. That is Yogamaya and there is Mahamaya. So these are two different energies assisting the Lord. It's one way to look at, because one is temporary, one is eternal. There are all details. It's a very vast subject, but just to understand, different energies are operating. In creation also, in maintenance also, every aspect. That's what my understanding. Anyone wants to add?
Hare Krishna. So everything, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by expanding His universal form, maintains everything in the creation, both internally and externally. So if we see the previous verses, there are descriptions about how our speech, our talk, our vision, everything is actually part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the universal form. So internally, like our body is there, internally the flow of blood or the heartbeat or the speech or the vision, this is all maintained by the Supreme Lord. And externally the creation is there, the universes, the planets, the stars, is all external. And internally, inside the objects, what's going on, and outside the objects, what's going on in the creation, everything is maintained by the Lord. That's what my understanding.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You mentioned spiritual world also creation.
Not part of cosmic manifestation.
In like spiritual world is not created, not
It's eternally present.
eternally present. So
This is the spiritual subject matter. I got this answer long back when I asked. The spiritual subject matter is inconceivable and also conceived by the mercy of the Lord and the acharyas. But that also depends upon how much are we surrendered. So it's an ongoing process to understand. At the same time, it is said the creation of the Lord, the internal creation of the Lord, the spiritual abode, it is anadi. Anadi means there is no beginning, there is no end to it. But people in the material world, there are a category of people who want to think beyond what they are, to make them feel they are intelligent. So certain data is available for them, but made available for them. And it also said that the thing which doesn't have a beginning, why are we finding out something? You know, जिसका आदि नहीं है हम उसका आदि time क्यों ढूंढ रहे हैं? It's like that, you know. So it is there, at the same time it's not there, and it's an ongoing process to understand. For example, this whole creation, when I was reading these sections a few days ago also, I was planning to come here, so I asked the verse, I was going through it. So in the history of the creation, nowhere such detail of creation is mentioned in any scriptures or any books. That is why Bhagavatam is all in all. Otherwise, just to know, if you know only Krishna's pastime, you can go back home, back to Godhead. But not everyone is interested to only know that and go back home, back to Godhead. So for them, for everyone, there is something in Bhagavatam. So it's to be understood that we are very fortunate, and at the same time, I said that these statements are used just to give explanation in this temporary material world for the conditioned soul to understand, just to according to the material intelligence, just to, you say, conceive perception, just to move from where we are a little ahead. And in our ongoing process, one understands. I have seen many senior leaders who explain these things as if they are seeing it or they are very well, realized about it. And it's just difficult even to conceive it, that the mind is born, the intelligent appears then. You understand? It's something which we cannot do, appears, it's written, no? Bhagavad. Correct? It's written, no? The sound appeared. Why does the sound appear? For us to conceive, sound appeared, Beautiful. Hare Krishna.
अंतराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.